Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and observe a moment of silence in remembrance of the passing of our 40th President, Ronald Reagan, and in recognition of the 60th anniversary of D-Day.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free? And the home of the brave.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins 2004 Calder Cup Championship Final Hockey. Tonight live from the Wachovia Arena at KC Plaza. It's Game 4 of the Calder Cup Championship Final. Hello everybody, I am Tom Grace, the voice of the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins, joined by that handsome devil, the big 2-9er Bill Borg. Ready for Game 4, Borky. Right now, Wes McCauley has called the men to center. Final thoughts before the puck drop.
Final thoughts, bring all this energy in the crowd. Bring it right down to that bench, right down to your legs, and get fired up as a player. Leave it all on the ice after tonight.
There's the Penguins bench dressed in black. Andy Chiodo is in the goal to our right. The Penguins will be skating from right to left. Assistant coach Mike Yeo with the headset on, getting ready for action. Pat on the back for the boys. Meanwhile, the Milwaukee Admirals, coached by Claude Noel, they'll be skating from left to right. They're the road team wearing white. We are ready for the opening face-off. It's Chris Beach against Wyatt Smith, and the opening face-off goes to the Penguins. They'll hustle back to their own zone. We are underway. The Milwaukee Admirals with a 3-0 lead. They can win their first professional hockey championship with a win today. Meanwhile, the Penguins looking to defend their home ice. A win today, and it's Game 5 tomorrow for the Penguins. Opening shift, the crowd is into it early, chanting, "Let's go Penguins." Koltsov couldn't find it. Beach with a nice back check on Libor Pivko. Beach and Shishkanov give themselves a collision as well. Ryan Whitney, good outlet to Orpik. Near wing side, puck breaks out of the zone, off the glass. Bouncing puck, Hussey has a 3-on-1. Hussey tried to go backdoor. What a great poke check by Andrew Hutchinson. My goodness, Hutchinson has been extremely valuable in this series, playing great two-way hockey. Haydar, we featured him at the top of the broadcast to Simone Gamache. Gamache centering pass in front. Nobody was ready for it, and Hussey had trouble reading the rebound. So Hussey with a nice opportunity offensively, then couldn't get it out of the zone defensively. Shot through a screen and a goal. A minute and 5 seconds, and Phil, it all goes back to Hutchinson's poke check defensively. Then the Penguins got struggling in their own zone.
Yeah, and this is just a harmless shot on net, and this is what happens when you throw the puck at the net. The Penguins look a little bit like the old deer with the eyes in the headlights right now. They don't know what happened on that shift, but you can see the puck comes back to the point, and it's number 6, Greg Zanin, just wristing that at the net. It might have deflected off of Ryan Whitty. 90% of those goals have been directly from turnovers.
Penguins just had an easy rebound clear, couldn't get it done, and now the Admirals feeding off it. Brandon Siegel, a quick shot, routine save for Chiodo. 2 minutes into the first period, Milwaukee already with a goal, and here's another chance. Shot blocked in front. Milwaukee is flying. It's almost as if they can smell what lies ahead for them. There's a stick on the ice. Tom Kostopoulos is without one. And now Kostopoulos trying to chip one out of the zone. Couldn't do it with his skate. Here's a rebound steal. Milwaukee is shot. Good save by Chiodo. Kochi is getting wrestled around behind the play with Reitnins. And now they push, and Kochi's trying to keep his discipline, but if I'm right as Evenins, I'm not going after David Kochi with my team up 1-0.
No, David Kochi, he's a big rig. You don't want to be messing with him. He goes 6'6", 228. The youngster out of Prague, Czechoslovakia. It looks like this is the right call here. Both guys are going to go in, take a little breather in the box. We're going to have a little 4-on-4 hockey.
So Rightus Evenins is going to get an even up penalty, if you will. This comes 2 minutes and 20 seconds in. Look at that size on Evenins, 6'4", 250 out of Riga, Latvia. That's a whole lot of person. Code, you put those two guys in an elevator, no one else can get on board.
It's pretty interesting what was going on in that shift. David Kochi broke his one-piece stick, and the Penguins must break about 4 or 5 of these one-piece sticks every single hockey game. Tom Kostopoulos handed his stick to Kochi. Then Eric Milosh handed his stick to Tom Kostopoulos. They went back and forth on sticks. Tom Kostopoulos ended up with no stick and the puck coming right to him.
Kochi, 2 minutes each for roughing. Time of the
matching roughing calls. Penguins come out of this with a 4-on-4. Murley, a steal shot, just missed the far post. That was the Penguins' first and best chance of the night without question. Armstrong trying to loop it off. 4-on-4 has been very good for Milwaukee. They scored a 4-on-4 goal in game 2. Here's a tap steal. Patrick Boileau, a shot near post. It's missed. This is a great chance to see how the Penguins respond already down in the series 3-0, giving up an early goal that would be considered on the soft side for the defense as a whole. And they'll have to battle back. This should be an icing call against Milwaukee. It is. So we'll have a face-off. The goal for Milwaukee, it was Greg Zanin, his second of the postseason. The assist to Simone Gamache. It glanced in off Penguins defenseman Ryan Whitney past that man, Andy Chiodo. Meanwhile, the penalties are David Kochi and Rightus Evenins. There's Andy. Look at that smile. Both 2 minutes for roughing. We get back to action. Phil, what do you got?
Andy, he loves playing in this building, and that is not the start the Penguins wanted. Now the Penguins have to take a page out of that book. Just throw pucks at the net, but they've got to get traffic in front of Flaherty because he's a good veteran goaltender. If he can see it, he's going to stop it.
That time Sorovi was tripped on the faceoff. The fans were looking for a call. Penguins are certainly hoping something's going to go their way. There's a nice shot by Shane Endicott. Whitney, fine reach back deep in. Milwaukee, a strange turnover. They normally clear that out themselves. Sorovi taken down, battling very hard. Bouncing puck, though, goes right to Andrew Hutchinson. Again, his breakup on that opening minute 3-on-1 the Penguins had was huge. There's a hard shot by Wyatt Smith. A nice save by Chiodo, getting the appropriate crowd response. 49 seconds to go in the matching minors to Kochi and Evenins. 16:29 to go in the first period. 1-0 Milwaukee.
There's that shot by Wyatt Smith right into the belly of Andy Chiodo, all led from a rush from Hutchinson. And this Hutchinson kid, he is just doing it both ends of the ice. He is so good defensively, but I am so surprised on how good his offensive skills are.
Face off to the right of Andy Chiodo, who looked like he just got a nice marriage proposal from that young lady. I don't think Andy's going to call, but you never know. Left wing point, it's one. Here's Brad Tiley's shot. It hit a foot. That is Tom Kostopoulos getting up very slowly. He looked like he wanted to come off, but with the guts of Tom Kostopoulos, he stays on the ice. Kostopoulos fighting through the pain of that block shot. Bounces a pass, it deflects just over the glass, and we'll have a whistle and face-off back in the Milwaukee defensive zone.
Tom Kostopoulos is going to feel that one tomorrow morning. He got that one right off the top of the laces. That was a booming shot by Brad Tiley. And there's a lot of Penguins, and we don't talk about this too much. There's a lot of Penguins that are banged up, and I'm sure Milwaukee's got some guys dinged up too as we look at Wade Flaherty, goaltender for Milwaukee. And there's a lot of Penguins that aren't playing at 100% right now. They're pretty dinged up.
And I'm sure Milwaukee's got some bumps and bruises too. 4-on-4 hockey for the next 22 seconds. Penguins have had a couple of nice setups. That Murley shot from in close went just wide, and then the Boileau shot was blocked in front. Penguins fans are going to support their team right to the end. There's Tony Herkus with a rare open ice giveaway, and Beach tries to drive right through the traffic, can't do it. Good slap away, and now the Penguins will have to start fresh. 2 seconds to go on the matching minors. Kochi and Evenins come out. Kochi looks at him. Nothing's going to happen there. Evenins kind of backing away as you'd expect with his team on the lead 1-0 on the road, trying to clinch the Calder Cup. 15:31 to go. Coach, you would love to stir things up with a fight.
Tom, quickly, that play by Chris Beach, we tried to stick handle to 3 players right at Milwaukee's blue line. That play has not been there the whole series. The Penguins have got to realize that Milwaukee feeds off that. They want you to try to stick handle. As you look at Michel Therrien, 149 wins, 136 losses, all time coaching in the AHL.
Won a Calder Cup as a player with the Sherbrooke Canadiens away. Meanwhile, Claude Noel also, we knew before the series started the winner was going to become the 12th man to win a Calder Cup as a player and a Calder Cup player, a coach Calder Cup champion. Both Claude Noel and Michel Therrien. Here's Koltsov with that blazing speed. Curtis Murphy, though, drives him off the play. Close to a holding call. Orpik keeps it in, tip shot down low. Couldn't get redirected by Milosh. Instead, it's cleared back. Darren Haydar was the hero in overtime. Haydar going back. Good shot. Oh, Kyoto with a turnaround save. And it looks like the whistle blew. Oh, and now they're saying late goal. The referee was nowhere near the play. The goal light went on. Where was the referee? Oh, Phil Bourque, I just assumed the whistle blew.
I thought I heard a whistle blow. This is just a harmless shot that finds its way. A little deflection, I believe, by Haydar, just finds its way in beneath Andy Kyoto. And I think everybody was just waiting for a face-off, for a whistle rather, and Clausen just barely poked this puck over the line. Looks like this goal's going to count.
My, oh my. You can complain about the officials. Greg Clausen's just doing his job, tapping it in, but what? The referee is outside the blue line. And he's nowhere near the play. Looks up, sees the goal light on, looks around, then he points at the net about a minute after the puck went in, it seemed. And now we've got timeout on the ice. Michel Therrien pleading with his club to get it together. 15:01 to go, and it's a 2-0 early struggle for the Penguins. The goal is going to be Greg Clausen. That is his 4th of the postseason, with the assist going to Darren Haydar, who we highlighted at the top of the broadcast, and Simone Gamache getting his 2nd assist of the game. This is a timeout charge to the Penguins, and down 2-0, 5 minutes into the game. You got to do something, Phil.
Well, we're just looking at total goals during the playoffs. The Penguins with 65, the Admirals with 68. The only difference, the Penguins have played 2 more games than the Admirals. But boy, the Penguins' energy level is just not where it should be. It's in spurts and it's certain players, but you're wondering if some players have just hit the wall this late in the season.
It's been such an emotional grind. 7 games in Bridgeport, 7th game in overtime on the road, 6 of the most physical games ever against Philadelphia, where they were putting up with all kinds of activity. Then 7th game on the road again, the first team in AHL history to win 2 games in overtime, a 7th game on the road. And now Milwaukee is just cruising out here with the 2-0 lead, and Andy Kyoto made a save on that 2nd goal, lost the rebound, and Clausen was left all alone. Although I sure wish there would have been a whistle blown, but we play on. Here's a breakout by the Penguins. Koltsov tries to get a jump on Hutchinson. Good backdoor. Here's Hussey zooming in. Hussey is shot. Big save. Rebound. Beach couldn't get it. Now, did the goaltender throw his stick there? I saw that come flying out in the scramble, because that's a penalty shot if he did, but I don't think they're going to call it.
No, this is a great play. Hussey tries to go to the backhand, and the rebound sits right out for Chris Beach, and boy, Chris Beach just cannot find the touch. And a great job by Hussey to use his left leg to hold off the defender, and this puck goes through 4 Milwaukee Admirals right out to Chris Beach. Boy, he's got to get that upstairs a little bit higher. You can see Flaherty was down on his knees.
So that 2nd goal came at 4:59. And now Milwaukee with a 2-0 lead. And what do we have here? A penalty, the old makeup call. So the Penguins look like they're going to go on the power play. 14 minutes. There's Claude Noel. He is just trying to get through this game quiet as a mouse. He wants his team to just bid adieu to Wilkes-Barre and get it going. But first, we're going to have Kirill Safronov going off for a 2-minute cross-check as more numbers come up.
Well, look at the penalties in the playoffs. The Penguins with 542, Admirals 403. You can see the Admirals only 19 minutes a game. That's a very low number. They're a very, very disciplined team, and they don't play a very physical style of game either.
We'd like to welcome everybody in watching on Fox Sports Pittsburgh and the other regional Fox networks. Milwaukee is poised to win the Calder Cup. There's a slap shot through a screen. Whitney chips it home. Penguins with a steal. Patrick Boileau turns it over. And here's a race for Libor Pivko breaking in all alone. The puck rolled on Pivko and he shoots it high over the net. That's a big-time break for the Penguins because Pivko, pretty good offensive skill guy.
What a break. And Thomas Sorobi was the recipient of that almost pass, and he was dead flat-footed. He could not catch Pivko.
So the Admirals have done everything right. The Penguins really getting off to a slow start here. And there's a strange turnover by Chris Beach as Tony Herkus just took it away to Matthew Darch. Hard shot. Kyoto is saved. The rebound rolls along. Andy did not want to freeze that puck. Kostopoulos, center ice, clearing it along over the blue line, just onside. Penguins have 1:08 to go on the power play. Orpik gambles on a pinch in. The Milwaukee penalty kill has been razor sharp in this series. They have 2 shorthanded goals. Both of them scored in Game 2 in Milwaukee. That was the 8-4 tire blowout we had in the Bradley Center. Endicott leads the rush, 4-on-3. Endicott is onside. Chips a pass to Koltsov, right wing corner. Koltsov weaves, has a man open. Koltsov being held. Here's a wrist shot through a screen. Flaherty, a good kick save. Penguins are really in desperate shape here trying to get a goal. Scuderi holds it, just stays onside. Orpik back to Scuderi. Wrist shot through a screen. Bouncing puck goes wide. Endicott challenges for the rebound. Milosh can't get it. Tony Herkus coming along. Orpik with a solid hit, but Herkus had got it out of the zone. That time Hutchinson tripped Orpik from behind after the big check. 15 seconds to go on the power play. Koltsov weaves, center blue line. Onside, Endicott taken down. Crowd wanted to call. They're not going to get one. Boileau tip shot through a screen. Koltsov scores!
Just an astronomical number. Finds this loose puck, and again, just a soft little shot by Boileau. Get it to the net, get traffic, get people in front. Konstantin Koltsov gets rewarded for going to that dangerous area right in front. This puck actually hits the post and bounces right to Koltsov, and he follows through with. This kid just never stops working this butt off.
Koltsov has been sensational. He is now the second leading scorer in the postseason behind Tom Kostopoulos for the Penguins. He's got 7 goals, 10 assists, and now he's got the Penguins breathing some oxygen again in this hockey game. Right off the face-off, here's Darren Haydar. Vern Fiddler trying to come through. Here's a block shot through a screen. Kyoto will save.
And number 32,
so Boileau and Nasruddin get the assist. Konstantin Koltsov the goal. We're going to take a break. 12 minutes and 2 seconds to go in the first period. You're watching the Calder Cup Finals on the Penguins Radio Network.
The game can be so simple. Patrick Boileau gets this puck. It's just a soft little wrist shot. Get it to the net. Get bodies in front. Get it to the net. You'll get rewarded. Konstantin Koltsov does that. Traffic in front of Flaherty and also pounces on a loose puck.
We've played 8 minutes. The Admirals erupted for 2 goals in the first 5. The Penguins have answered back with a power play goal. It was Koltsov from Boileau and Nasruddin, and somebody's broken a stick from Milwaukee. It was Vern Fiddler. Kostopoulos' shot, and Flaherty just got it with the outside pad. Here's that famed Milwaukee transition game. Gamache stops, shot through a screen, rebound, look out, Kyoto is saved. And now Kostopoulos, oh, and there's a big swipe by Fiddler, and Fiddler threw a punch at Kostopoulos on the way down. Andy makes an establishing save, and the Penguins hanging tough in front of their own net.
Well, the Penguins are getting some big breaks. Huge save by Kyoto there, and also a botched breakaway attempt by Pivko earlier on. You can see that harmless shot just getting it to the net with some traffic. You see Fiddler getting the swipe at it. He got some pretty good wood on that rebound right up into the shoulder. Tom Kostopoulos finishing off his check, falling over Andy Kyoto. That looked a lot worse than it really was.
11:42 to go in the first period. Milwaukee looking to win the Calder Cup on the road. It'll be their first pro hockey championship. They won a semi-pro is what they called it back in the 70s. But right now, the Admirals can feel it. They were up 2-0 in this game. And here's a break to the net. Backdoor pass. There's a block by Scuderi. And the referee, Wes McCauley, right on the spot where he belongs, whistles it dead, and it's no goal.
Well, Shishkanov does a great job of walking out of the corner here. And it's a really good job by Rob Scuderi to lay his body down. He's lucky as Shishkanov tried to throw this puck to the net. You see Scuderi go down. Lucky this puck didn't go off of the shin guards of Rod Scuderi. It fell right into the feet of Andy Chiodo. Good concentration by Andy to cover up for the faceoff.
So Milwaukee has come out flying. They're playing relaxed and confident. Shot through a screen. Chiodo a save. Really pouncing on the loose rebounds. Armstrong tries to battle Pivko, but Pivko comes away with it. There's a backdoor pass on the point, and there's an awkward play falling down. Armstrong is going to break down the right wing side. Fakes his slap shot. He loses his footing. Tried to tap a pass to Meloche. So there's been a lot of back and forth excitement, to say the least, as this has icing written all over it.
Well, good job by Colby Armstrong, former first-round pick by the Pittsburgh Penguins, to scream down that right side. But that pulling up, that little button hook that he did there, Tom, that's not going to work against this Milwaukee team. They are too aggressive. They got too good forwards. They're so good with their speed and back checking that they'll pounce all over you. You got to take that puck wide, take it to the net.
Or maybe just rip the shot and hope for the rebound, because the Penguins had some traffic going in the direction of the net.
Always a good idea.
We played exactly 9 minutes. The Admirals have 13 shots, the Penguins 9. Milwaukee exploded for a 2-0 lead. Then Konstantin Koltsov answered with 4 seconds to go on a power play. It's a 2-1 game right now in favor of the Admirals. They lead the series 3-0. Scuderi back at his own blue line. Shoots one in. The Penguins try to dump and chase. First man is Koltsov. Leaves it for Chris Beach. Beach tries to float around. Kochi's shot is blocked in front. It's just not getting to Flaherty. The Admirals' collapsing defense so strong. Vern Fiddler tried to find a man. Brandon Siegel crashed to the net. The puck went beyond his grasp. Koltsov tried to feather one through the neutral zone. It did not work. Bouncing puck picked up by the rough and tumble Brandon Siegel. Ray Schultz, the team captain, up the near side board, sends it all the way. Scuderi regroups with Whitney back at the Penguins blue line. Scuderi tried to lead it along. Will this be an icing call? Coming along, Hutchinson touches it, and we will have a face-off. 10 minutes and 11 seconds to go. 2-1 Milwaukee. As you see Ryan Whitney adjust his ear. There's head coach Michel Therrien trying to stay positive. This was not the start he wanted, but at least they're back in the game, Phil.
And of course, you've heard about the little confrontation between Michel Therrien and Claude Noel, and there's been a lot of sarcastic remarks in the newspaper. Actually pretty funny. We'll get to them later.
Yeah, you were really getting a kick out of one of the ones Coach Therrien had. It was funny, folks. And I can't say I blame Coach Therrien at all. Here is Marquise Mathieu with Guillaume Lefebvre. Quick shot through a screen. Backhand shot. Peterson missed the net. That's the type of shot the Penguins need to get more mileage out of. There's a backdoor chance. Herkus looked to me like he might have held the line, but they called him for offside. We will take a break. 9:47 to go in the middle period. First period. 2-1 Admirals. Game 4 of the 2004 Calder Cup Finals. They have the signs. We are on fire. We believe. Go Penguins. Right now, though, it's been go Milwaukee. A 2-0 lead that has become 2-1 with Koltsov's power play goal. And Phil, you almost have to say the Penguins need to tie this thing up. If Milwaukee scores again, their confidence level is going to skyrocket.
Well, we've seen a big swing here. Milwaukee had a couple of golden opportunities. They had a botched breakaway. That Koltsov goal was huge.
Now Meloche needs to keep his cool. He was actively pursuing the puck. Flaherty beat him, and then it looked like Kirill Safronov was going to rough up Meloche, and Eric blocked his stick and then gave him a shove. But it doesn't look like penalties are going to be called here. Anything further from Eric there, and he's going to be gone.
And Eric has cooled off a little bit. He had 4 goals in 5 games, and lately he's got no points in his last 3. He's really been struggling. He's been working his. I mean, Eric Meloche will always give you 100% effort, night in and night out. But with Chris Beach and Thomas Sorobi struggling a little bit offensively, a guy like Eric Meloche really needs to chip in.
9.5 minutes to go in period 1. Milwaukee leads the series 3-0. They are ahead in this game 2-1 after they opened up a 2-0 lead, and that time Meloche got tangled up again and it was offside, so they'll have to start in the neutral zone with a better chance.
That was actually a huge hit by Eric Meloche behind the play, finishing his check on Safronov. You look at Claude Noel, head coach for Milwaukee Admirals. Last year in the East Coast League, Coach of the Year. This year, first year American League, Coach of the Year.
Won the regular season title. They were actually tied with Hartford, who we all know is an outstanding club in their own right, but Milwaukee had more regulation wins, so they get the title on that tiebreaker. Endicott and Wyatt Smith look more like they're having a Three Musketeers duel before the puck was dropped. and neither one gets waved out. Penguins have Kostopoulos, Sarovi, Nasreddine, and Boileau. Boileau and Nasreddine had the assists on Koltsov's power play goal, a rebound off the post that Koltsov simply got to first. Kostopoulos, good finish on Zanin, but Greg Zanin scored the early goal of the hockey game. A minute and 5 seconds in, it deflected in off Ryan Whitney by accident, and that gave Milwaukee a much needed 1-0 lift early. Penguins trying to get it together at their own blue line. Milwaukee so aggressive. Endicott coming along, great neutral zone check and steal by Libor Pivko. That is not what Endicott is looking to do there at all.
Well, that's what Milwaukee does. They clog up that neutral zone, and they don't just clog it up. They're looking to go on the offense as soon as you turn the puck over.
Alain Nasreddine will be the first period intermission guest with Tim Carlson. They actually chatted right before the game, and Nasreddine out there working like crazy. Here's a quick play by Shishkanov. Penalty coming up on the Penguins. That was just a disappointing shift from the get-go, Phil.
Yeah, well, there's Milwaukee with their power forwards led by Shishkanov. Shishkanov is just an awesome player. He's so strong. A second-round draft choice in 2001 by the parent Nashville Predators. And Patrick Boileau gets guilty of getting the old glove hand right in the shoulder of Shishkanov and holding it. When you stop skating, Tom, and you just go on along for the ride, 9 out of 10 times you're going to get called.
So it's a holding call. Actually, either a hook or a hold, it doesn't matter. It's a holding call. And Milwaukee has its first power play of the game. Left wing side, trying to barrel in deep. Here's Gamache, backdoor play to Murphy. Oh, it just caught the skate blade of Andy Chiodo. Otherwise, it's 3-1, and Curtis Murphy just adding to his resume as the back-to-back AHL Defenseman of the Year. Milwaukee breaks out left to right at center ice. Here's a lead feed to Greg Clausen. Clausen comes in. Nice pad save by Chiodo. Marquise Mathieu fanned on his clearing bid. What a play by Gamache. Brad Tiley keeps it onside. Simone Gamache, top of the near side circle, stops, waits, passes it down low to Haydar. Right wing hash mark, center point. Tiley and Haydar share it. There's a tip pass. Good job by Marquise Mathieu. Knocks it out to center ice. Milwaukee will have to start again from all the way back at their own net. 1:07 to go on the Milwaukee power play. They have been lethal. They're up to almost 19%. They started the series 10th, and now they're up to 5th. And Marquise Mathieu, and there's a flop dive. They can't be calling that. Maybe Pivko for a dive. That's ridiculous. That is Darren Haydar, actually.
And that's one of the sarcastic comments that Coach Michel Therrien was mentioning. He was telling the newspaper that he's going to make tapes for his guys next year to work on diving because they've seen quite a lot of it. And you see the save by Andy Chiodo. That is just a phenomenal reaction save off a deflection, actually, of his own defenseman, David Kochi's stick.
So the Penguins trying to kill off a penalty. This Milwaukee power play has been so effective. And the Penguins, they got a long hill to climb, but we are just focusing one step at a time. Penguins were behind 2-0. 5 minutes into the game, Konstantin Koltsov has cut the lead in half. It is 2-1 Milwaukee, and they've got a minute to go on their power play. Good opening face-off by Endicott on the offensive zone, even though the Penguins are shorthanded. Now Milwaukee breaks. Here's a lead rush by Libor Pivko. Shoots it in deep. Milwaukee's going to go and chase it. That time Nasreddine got a piece of it, but never did get it under control. Tony Herkus, the 37-year-old KG veteran, moves it off to Wyatt Smith, left wing side. Smith stops, good rotation. Matthew Darch looking for a teammate. The Milwaukee players on their feet on the bench in anticipation. Andrew Hutchinson, a slap shot, big shoulder save, Chiodo. The rebound looked to be kicked in. And I think this is going to count. It looked like it was kicked. We have a replay on the TV, but not in the league. That goal is going to count whether it was kicked in or not. Yeah,
I think Clausen might get rewarded for this as he went to the net. The big shot, again, Hutchinson. And that's just a wicked slapper. And this is actually, I think, Wyatt Smith.
Wyatt Smith guided the puck in with his skate. You can tell.
Sure enough, big save by Andy Chiodo with the shoulder. And this puck goes right out to Wyatt Smith. And he just simply kicks the puck in the net.
Yeah. I've got pretty good eyes. That one's going to count, and I think if we had the replay in the NHL, this one would have been taken a good long look at, but it's going to go down here. So Milwaukee now has a commanding 3-1 lead.
Time of the goal, 13:09. Milwaukee power play goal scored by Smith from Hutchinson and Darch at 13:09.
There is a whistle after the face-off after the goal. So Wyatt Smith gets the goal. He was credited with it, his 5th of the playoffs. And you can see now, what do we have, a penalty here?
Chris Beach is going to go off for slashing here. And this was behind the play. Very, very undisciplined penalty. And this is the kind of stuff that seems to be happening to the Penguins. When one thing goes wrong, the next shift that goes out there needs to raise the team up instead of taking another step backwards.
Now, I want to be clear about something. That puck clearly went in off Wyatt Smith's skate. It doesn't matter even if he kicked it in and the ref doesn't see it. We do not have replay. We do not have appeals in the American Hockey League. The word in the NHL is distinct kicking motion, but we learned at a game this year in Boston, you are not allowed to alter your body to guide a puck in with any part of your body. He clearly changed the direction of his foot to guide that puck in. That goal would not have counted in the NHL, in my opinion.
And it didn't look like Wes McCauley, the referee, really saw what was going on. No. He saw the puck in the net and he just pointed.
Just like the first goal when we thought there would be a whistle. Anyway, we have, the second goal, excuse me. There's a nice catch by a fan. So 3 goals in the first 13 minutes is not the formula here. And the Penguins have not quit all year. They are going to battle. But Phil Bourque, this has been a nightmare start, to put it mildly.
Yeah, obviously the Penguins are on the treadmill, and somebody keeps tilting that treadmill up. It's just getting steeper and steeper as we go along here.
Beach took a frustration slash minor after the goal, and Milwaukee with that blazing power play. They already have a 3-1 lead, and this is a chance to make it 4. Penguins need a killer penalty kill here. Left wing side, Milwaukee can do no wrong. They are showing why they were the American Hockey League regular season champs. Gamache fakes a shot. What a tap-in goal. Simone Gamache to Darren Haydar, and 4-1. I think the Penguins have really got themselves in a hole here.
Well, I think that overweight lady is warming up her vocal cords, because it's getting really, really sad in here. And the only people you hear right now, folks, are the Milwaukee fans. They brought probably about 20, 30 of their fans, and this is just an unbelievable pass by Simone Gamache over to Darren Haydar, and Haydar's got a wide open cage. Boy, this is a pinpoint passing. Andy Chiodo had no help there at all.
There is no sign of a Marc-Andre Fleury sighting. He is the backup today, and it looks like Andy Chiodo is going to stay in. Haydar gets the tip-in goal. That was a really nice play. And what a great view by Gamache, and a fine finish for Darren Haydar. Right now, we'll take a break. 5:47. We've got to stop the bleeding. If you're an Admirals fan, you're saying more, more, more. It's 4-1. Milwaukee on the verge right here on the Penguins Playoff Network.
With Chris Beach in the box, you see Simone Gamache pinpoint pass at Darren Haydar, and Darren Haydar makes no mistake from right there. And that is just a beautiful, beautiful play. Even though we're Penguins fans, it's good to see plays like that in hockey, man. That's just a beautiful play on the power play by Simone Gamache.
It's never easy when you're calling the games all season for a team that's on the wrong end of the score, but there comes a point where you have just got to say, wow, what a gorgeous power play shot. And Milwaukee is executing, and they now have 9 power play goals and 2 shorthanded goals through, let's see, the 10 periods. That's outrageous. I mean, that's how you win a championship.
And Tom, you've heard me say it before. When you're sitting on the bench and one of your teammates goes and hammers a guy with just a solid check, and it's a charging call, or maybe a roughing call, a boarding call, something like that. You, as a penalty killer, you rise up and you want to kill that penalty even more. But when you have a needless penalty behind the play, like the one by Chris Beach, you're already down 3-1. You take just a ridiculous penalty slashing call. It really demoralizes the bench.
No, that's for sure. Chris took an awful lot of minors this year, and that's something I'm sure he's going to need to focus on for next season. Here comes Milwaukee. They have a 4-1 lead, fans. A 2 power play goal back-to-back situation in less than a minute, and they have broken this first period open 4-1. Koltsov the only answer, and the hitting still furious. Remember, there's still 45 minutes of hockey left to be played here, and you got to finish them all strong. Milwaukee has a 3-0 lead. They are trying to win the Calder Cup. There has not been a sweep in the American Hockey League since 1995, when Reed Simpson and the Albany River Rats did that to the Fredericton Canadiens. But right now, unless there is a dramatic reversal of fortune here, the Penguins are in deep trouble.
Well, now you have to protect your goalie, and you want to get at least one more goal to get back in this game, hopefully with 4:41 to go. But you can see the Penguins, they are trying to give you everything, every ounce of energy they have, but they've been through the emotional roller coaster of overtime wins and overtime losses and 7-game series, and you can see this team is pretty well spent physically and mentally.
And you know what, Phil, even going back to game 1 as live action continues, Endicott chips it ahead. Milwaukee had 6 days of rest to get ready for this series. The Penguins win in Hartford, come home, or on a plane the next day, and it's almost like it's been a treadmill that does not stop.
Yeah, and these aren't excuses. These are
this is what happened.
These are just reasons why a team this time, I mean, we're looking at June 6th. And like I said, Konstantin Koltsov playing in his 106th game. Brooks Orpik playing in his 103rd game. That's a boatload of hockey, folks.
Milwaukee Admirals, they won the regular season. They have started their first series, needed 7 games against Cincinnati. They needed 6 against Chicago, 5 against Rochester, and unfortunately, to keep that mathematical equation going, it's 7-6-5 and could be 4 here today against the Penguins unless the Penguins have a miracle comeback. Here's Orpik at his own blue line. Rink wide pass, good feed to Kostopoulos, and they call a 2-line pass. It looked like Orpik was there, but the linesmen have been very good on the 2-line calls.
Well, Orpik was behind the blue line, but it looked like Tom Kostopoulos was standing right at the red line, and that's where his feet is, not where his stick is. He received the pass in front of the red line, but his feet were still on the red. I have to question that call.
So the Milwaukee Admirals, they are poised. They're trying. It's funny, early in the series they were crashing into each other. You saw the Hartford guys, you want to make contact. And Hussey and Rightus Evenins getting after it. Hussey is not looking to start trouble with Rightus Evenins, and Evenins gives Hussey a slug as if to say, look, I'm the big guy, you don't hit me. Here's a loose puck. Lefebvre can't hang on. Brandon Siegel breaks 3-on-3. Good poke check by Nasruddin. Hussey has a 1-on-1 trying to go wide. Hussey takes it deep around Zanin. Good rush by Hussey. Throws one in front. Puck loose. Flaherty chisels at it, trying to hold it off, and good diving hit that time. Murphy coming in. Nasruddin, Evenins out there. So Kochi and Evenins is really the matchup you'd like to see, but Kochi is not on the ice right now, and Nasruddin is courageous a player. You talk about the heart and soul as a new guy coming in from Bridgeport. He was sensational.
And here you see just throw this puck at the net, and I believe that's Guillaume Lefebvre. Gets 1, 2, 3, 4 whacks at it, and Evenins is going into the box right now. I'm pretty sure this is going to be for cross-checking, because after that scrum, Evenins came in and he just hammered, I believe it was Matthew, from behind. He's going to go off for cross-checking with 3:40 to go, Tom. Boy, do we need a power play goal.
Yeah, and Phil, you know, we'll try to be as optimistic as we can. They always talk about that dreaded 3-goal lead in the first period. Well, I know the Penguins would rather have a 3-goal lead, but Milwaukee is going to have to play a lot of pressure. They're up 3-0, and with a 3-goal lead, let's see if the Penguins can chip away. So there'll be a one-timer. Goes through the legs of Kostopoulos. Whitney was posted deep. Sweeps it behind the net to Peterson. Nice umbrella going. Sorobi dives back. Peterson fakes it. Good stick handling. Toby is tripped. Sorobi, top of the circle, trying to cut to the net. Whitney goes back door. It's deflected. Good recovery by the Milwaukee defense. Libor Pivko has been an exceptional special teams player for the Admirals. Here's Boileau back to Sorobi. He can shoot it. Rips a slapper that missed the net, and Whitney had cheated in too much for the rebound. When you miss the net on that far side, you never get the rebound going.
Yeah, Thomas from that bad angle over there. If he's gonna miss, he's got to miss short side. Otherwise, just get that on the net with Tom Kostopoulos standing in front.
Koltsov quickly up to center ice on the good outlet from Patrick Boileau. Milwaukee with a poke check steal, and they are so aggressive. Matthew Darch was thinking 2-on-2 short-handed. Let's take it north. Boileau on a back check with help from Whitney. Now they'll settle at 55 seconds to go on the power play. 2:37 to go in the first period. Milwaukee in complete control with a 4-1 lead. Penguins working on a power play. Their only goal came on a man advantage. That was when Konstantin Koltsov banged one in after a shot. It just kind of hung on the goal post. He beat Flaherty to the spot.
Milwaukee does not back up at all. Their D stand very tall at that blue line, and the Penguins are still trying to stick handle through that 4-man wall.
Scuderi finally says the heck with it. He dumps it in. Flaherty can't get it. Good follow-up by Eric Meloche. Penguins have something going here. Shane Endicott near wing corner to Meloche. Back on the point. It was telegraphed and stolen. Libor Pivko is going to lead a 3-on-2 short-handed. This is what Milwaukee does as well as any team I've ever seen in the American League. Good hit by Milosh on Ray Schultz. Schultz was not popular. He refused to stand up to Tom Kostopoulos in game 2 after he had given Kostopoulos a vicious two-hand slash. Penalty is over. Milwaukee killed it off with relative ease. Here's Armstrong trying to gather up a play. Forecheck. Murley can't get it. Milwaukee really can do no wrong. Penguins have one. Here's a loop around. Good play by Armstrong. Coming in, wrist shot Flaherty. A nice glove save. And Murley kind of rides his man towards the goaltender, Greg Zanin. Vern Fiddler hits Murley. Murley trying to draw the penalty. That's not going to work.
That's a great play by Colby Armstrong. Coming down the left side on his off wing, using the defenseman as a screen. And boy, he gets a lot of zip on that snapshot. And that's a good save. You see Flaherty out very far from his crease there. And Matt Murley charging the net, looking for any kind of garbage.
Milwaukee scored 4 goals on its first 19 shots. The Penguins held Milwaukee to almost 19 shots for the entire game on Friday. What a difference. Milwaukee with 4 first-period goals on a day they're poised to sweep the Calder Cup. The Penguins are hoping for a quick rebound, but it's been tough. Milwaukee, what a good-looking club they've been today, taking care of every advantage the Penguins have given them. Zanin coming along, takes a hard hit from Armstrong. Penguins are not going to go down quietly. Coachy shoots one in, deflects up into the crowd with a minute to go. Coming up in the first intermission on the radio side, we'll have a chat with Toby Peterson. It was a great interview, fans. Hope you can stick around for that. On the TV side, we will have Elaine Nasruddin. Then Phil Bourque, you're going to be interviewing Reed Simpson on live TV right here. So who the heck would want to miss that?
You want to tune in for that. Simmer, the elder statesman for the Penguins, got himself a ring, got himself a championship, as you mentioned, with the Albany River Rats back in '95.
And I think he was one of the Black Aces with the New Jersey Devils that year when the River Rats and the Devils completed the double, the AHL and the NHL team. That was the lockout Stanley Cup, but it still counted in my book. What the heck? Tomas Sarovi gets the puck at his own blue line to end a cut. Less than a minute to go in this first period. 4-1 Milwaukee. They have 2 power play goals, and they scored a minute and 5 in, and then at 4:59. It has been a real mountain to climb for the Penguins. Shishkanov tries to spin around. Patrick Boileau hanging tough. Penguins are trying to stick to the game plan, but it's awfully tough when you know you're already down 3 games and 3 goals in the 4th game. What do? You keep pressing on. Shift by shift. Sarovi forechecks, finishes it off. Tomas Sarovi, no quitting in that man either. Here's a clear out. Brooks Orpik gathers one in. 12 seconds left in the period. He's at his own blue line, goes backwards to Scuderi. Scuderi tried to lead it along. Icing is it? Oh, it hit the linesman's skate is what happened. Milwaukee sends it back with 1 second to go. And there's your horn. So the first period has come and gone. It is a complete Milwaukee headline. 4-1. Welcome back once again to our viewers watching Game 4 of the Calder Cup playoffs. Tom Grace, Phil Bourque getting ready for period 2. It's 4-1 Milwaukee. They are up 3 games to nothing. They are clearly thinking championship. The Penguins are thinking win the period, keep the scoreboard respectable, and who knows. Here's a steal right off the hop and a big hit by Wyatt Smith from Brooks Orpik. What a great clobbering. Brooks just lowered the boom. That's the kind of thing, Phil Bourque, that can maybe get a team jump-started when they're down in such a hole. Quick shot off the hop. It was deflected. Whitney with a fine keep-in. Penguins are down in the game 4-1, but they are coming out flying in the second period. Traditionally, the second period has been their least effective in the postseason. Here's a 2-on-2. Milwaukee, a backdoor pass. Orpik. Oh, and they run the goalie. Where is the call? My goodness. Kyoto got cleared out like a snowman. Live action continues, and it looks like we're going to have a penalty on the Penguins now. Oh, the injustice after Kyoto was run. Here's Zanin a shot, and now what do we have? Another penalty behind the play as Fiddler slashes Orpik after the whistle. Phil, that was ugly.
Well, I think we're going to have 2 penalties here because Milwaukee had full control of the puck, and it looks like Hussey's going to go off, I think, for holding. And boy, I can't believe there wasn't goalie interference. You can see Pivko running right into Andy Kyoto. My goodness. I mean, if that's not goalie interference, I'd like to know what is.
Yeah.
And then the scramble was on. And the referees and the linesmen are over at the box right now discussing it. I'm not sure if we're going to have 1 or 2 penalties here. It looks like Koltsov's going in the box.
And I don't know why the whistle was blown then. Milwaukee had full control of the puck unless they're having a penalty too, and it does not look like it. That was an extremely strange play. We just assumed, and we know what happens when you assume in life. But Kyoto got cleared out by an unmolested Milwaukee player. How is that not goaltender interference?
That's just unbelievable. And then to add injury to insult, the Penguins get called for a penalty. They go back on the PK, and like you mentioned, Milwaukee has just been unbelievable on the power play. 2 for 2 on the power play, and they really have been doing damage this whole series with their deadly power play unit.
Not what you would call a good call.
No, that's not a good call.
Okay, so
what was the call?
Playing with illegal equipment.
Playing with illegal equipment. So I don't know. Maybe he's got some rocket.
Well, even the fans are like, everybody's looking at each other. What the?
That's one where you really wish you had a guy who could get to the bottom of that. But we'll play on. Milwaukee has a power play. They're 2 for 2. They're ahead 4-1. Penguins are in trouble here. Darren Haydar, right wing hash marks, holding and waiting. Brad Tiley's open at the near point. Quick shot blocked in front by Boileau. Clausen has a goal already today, tries to dig it free. Somebody's lost a stick, and Gamache went for a high hit on Nasruddin and fell on top of him. Almost went face first into the boards. So, the illegal stick. I guess that Koltsov was carrying Kyoto's goalie equipment, the goalie stick, when Kyoto lost it. But I don't know if that means he was playing with it. I think you're allowed to pick up the stick and hand it to the goaltender.
You can go and get a goaltender stick, and you can hand it to the goaltender. But I didn't see. Maybe
he played the puck when it was in his hand.
If he played the puck with the goalie stick while it's in his hands, then yes, that is the correct call.
Nice to know they're on the rolls. Too bad they missed the puck about kicking the puck in the net. We've got to be careful here, though, Borky. We're not taking a thing away from Milwaukee. They have done everything they've needed to do. They lead 4-1. They're up 3-0 in the Calder Cup final, and they have looked every bit. Here's a backdoor play brewing. And Tiley was open, had Kyoto, but did not field the one-timer pass. Again, that was Haydar and Gamache just working the puck like magicians. Meloche weaves with Colby, shorthanded. Penguins have not had a shorthanded goal the entire postseason. That's a tough thing to overcome. Curtis Murphy hits Armstrong, but Colby did a nice job keeping that puck deep in Milwaukee territory. 45 seconds to go on the penalty to Koltsov. 17:45 to go in the second period. Greg Clausen walking in, backdoor. Murphy, a shot, rebound, goal. It's Darren Haydar, his second of the night, 11th of the postseason. 5-1 Milwaukee, and I'm guessing that if Milwaukee is Beer Town, USA, they may be rolling out a barrel or two at their favorite establishment.
Well, Milwaukee's not going to let up either. Haydar, who I believe actually made this pass to Curtis Murphy, the defenseman who jumped up on the play. And Kyoto actually made an unbelievable shoulder save on Murphy, but there was nobody there to clear that rebound. And Haydar, who was Johnny on the spot, boy, does he know where that puck is to pick up those loose pucks. He's the guy who scored the overtime winner in game number 3. And boy, for a little guy, he's not afraid. He has no fear to go to that dangerous area. And that's where you score goals.
He was a captain at the University of New Hampshire. He's from Milton, Ontario. He's only 5'9", 175. I don't think he's that big. But he has led the Admirals, and he now has 11 postseason goals. That's tops in the league. Kostopoulos' backdoor pass is stolen by Jay Henderson, and Milwaukee now, they are just on cruise control with a 5-1 lead. A game that's very similar now to what we saw in game 2. At one point, even though it was an 8-4 final, the Admirals had a 7-1 lead in the second period. Here's a chance for Endicott. Hard shot. Good save by Wade Flaherty. And there's a knockout by Jay Henderson. He and Marquise Matthew were teammates on the 1999 Providence team. Many say that was the best overall team in league history. Here's a quick shot deflected in front. Sarovi and Schultz giving each other some rough stuff. Orpik coming off for a line change on the fly. Sarovi, a backdoor pass. Good guide by Kostopoulos, but it's skated off. And Hutchinson once again, Phil, he comes out of the traffic as well as any young defenseman I've seen.
As soon as he picks up a loose puck in his own zone, if he doesn't have a 8 or 10 foot pass right away, he is getting on his horse and he is lugging the mail and carrying it out himself.
Whitney went for a big hit on Vern Fiddler, didn't make it, but it caused Fiddler to lose the puck. Now Vern Fiddler gets it back together. Rightus Evenins coming along, leads the rotation. Milwaukee is just playing at a different level right now. They can do no wrong, and they are showing off their overall skill. Evenins in front. There's some rough battling. Somebody's lost the knob of a stick. If they get caught, that will be a penalty, as that's technically a broken stick. Somebody's trying to get away with it. I'm not sure who. Live action continues. Near side left wing corner. Brandon Siegel out there along with Raitas Ivanins. Here is Siegel. Tough angle. Staying with it. Whitney trying to use. Whitney's a tall kid, but he's not overly muscular. Shot. Good kick save. Kyoto. Rebound controlled by Milwaukee. Kirill Safronov coming in. Backdoor feather pass. Lookout shot. And there's another goal for Milwaukee. Kyoto has now been victimized for 6, and I think it's going to be Marc-Andre Fleury's turn now, Phil.
Yeah, I would be surprised to see Marc-Andre come in. Siegel gets this goal. And boy, it seemed like the Milwaukee Admirals had that puck.
Like the overtime.
It seemed like for 2 minutes that puck was in the Penguin zone, and you could see the Penguins eventually were just standing around watching because they were just totally exhausted. That was quite an exhibition. Siegel finishing off a nice pass from Safronov, who made a great move from the point. And this puck actually just finds the stick of Siegel, who's in the right place at the right time. And here comes Marc-Andre Fleury.
And it's a standing ovation for Andy Kyoto. The fans love Andy. Obviously, the dream is on its way to ending today. But Andy Kyoto just simply ran out of gas. Maybe his teammates in the process of doing it, but that does not diminish for a second the 3 series he took in the first 3 rounds.
No, Andy Kyoto he just took his game. He took this team, threw this whole team on his back, and pretty well carried them through the playoffs. He was phenomenal.
So Milwaukee has scored 2 goals in the opening 5 minutes of each the first and the second period. They're now ahead 6-1 on just 24 shots on goal, and it's going to take a complete quicksand slip for Milwaukee to not get what they want today, and that's the Calder Cup championship. Here's a steal for Koltsov. Can't get the shot off. Keeps it alive. They just chip and cycle. Milwaukee with a huge 6-1 lead, and they're not going to ease up, are they, Phil Bork?
No, they're a well-coached team, a very disciplined team, and I don't think they have that in their repertoire at all. They don't know how to back off. They just know pedal to the metal.
The Penguins are just not completing even the most basic of plays, and it's very hard when you've had to play a 7-game series, win it on the road in overtime, a 6-game series, a 7-game series, win it on the road in overtime. They just did not have the energy for Milwaukee. 14.5 minutes to go. This will be an icing call, and it's a good touch up by Greg Zanin. 14.5 minutes. Get you caught up. The 5th Milwaukee goal, it was Darren Haydar from Curtis Murphy, and also getting an assist was Greg Clausen, who's having a good game for himself. That was Haydar's 2nd of the night, 11th of the postseason. Milwaukee 3 for 3 on the power play. Then it was Brandon Siegel just sneaking it past the post, and the assists go to Raitas Ivanins and Kirill Safronov. And it's a 6-1 rout. Marc-Andre Fleury in getting his 2nd game of the AHL postseason.
Haydar is making a good bid for the MVP.
I think he's going to win it. That would be my vote from what I've seen so far. Flaherty's been good, but he hasn't been the difference maker. Gamache, good speed, takes a shot and he scores. First shot, he beat David Kochi down the wing. Simone Gamache did, and Marc-Andre Fleury looked like he flinched a little bit. It went through the 5-hole. It might have been deflected, but now it's 7-1, and there's just nowhere to hide. This is Italian romp slapping.
Well, we got a lot of time left here, folks. We got 14:08 to go in the second here. Gamache, boy, this kid's really impressed me with his speed. And again, another turnover by the Penguins, and Gamache in that counterattack just hit the brakes, came down the left side. And I think this puck kind of changed gears a little bit on Marc-Andre Fleury as David Kochi was diving to whack the puck at the last second, and it caught the 5-hole on Marc-Andre on this first shot.
Well, Milwaukee is certainly taking the suspense out of what's going to happen here today, and it almost reminds, I know we have so many Pittsburgh fans listening, Phil Bork, the feeling you boys had playing against Minnesota when the game was just a complete dismantling by the third period.
That was game 6 to 1. We won 8-0, and every once in a while I'll put that highlight tape in, and you can see the faces of the players and the fans. You're right, there's no place to hide.
Here's a play back the other way. The Penguins trying to battle and scratch for it. Guillaume Lefebvre getting in there. And, you know, this is the thing. The Penguins are as hard-nosed and as tough. They're obviously sad. They're obviously frustrated. But no monkey business in cheap shots. Right now we're going to take a break. Fans, it is 7-1 Milwaukee in the second period. And you're watching the 2004 Calder Cup Final. Simone Gamache, one of the stars of the Quebec League, stops, waits, fires right through the wickets of Marc-Andre Fleury. Welcome to the game, Marc-Andre.
That's a tough way to start. First shot on net. The kid's not even got a sweat yet. He's already getting pelted.
This is almost exactly like game 2 was in Milwaukee. Caron came in for Kyoto, and he got victimized with a power play goal right off the hop. So Fleury will get to play a period and a half of AHL final hockey. Milwaukee, and again, fans, it's 7-1. You don't just walk out the door. If we give up, how do we expect you to keep watching? But this is a Milwaukee team that is not going to blow a 7-1 lead. I can assure you of that. Matthew Darch comes in deep. Good coverage by Coach. He rides him off the play. Milwaukee has done everything a champion needs to do. They've won 2 close ones, and now they have their second huge lead in a 4-game series. So that's what's happening here. Tom Gray's Phil Bourque. Here's a lead rush. Good job by Murley to stay onside. Backdoor pass to Milosh. Armstrong a shot. Wade Flaherty a very solid save. That is legitimately one of the few chances the Penguins have had all game.
A really good play by Colby Armstrong coming down the right side, and Flaherty, who hasn't seen much action here. He's only had 17 shots against him so far, but he comes up with a big save here. Boy, he comes out and challenges real well and holds on to that rebound to get the faceoff.
Michel Therrien naturally disappointed, naturally upset. There's only so much you can do when you're down 7-1, and you know, again, the fans are staying there. They love their team. The ovation that Andy Kyoto got going off the ice, of course, that's what you would expect. But this is just a tremendous disappointment, no matter how you slice it, for the Penguins and for the Milwaukee Admirals. If nothing else, this is the exclamation point on a sensational season. Back to live action. Matt Hussey near wing boards, takes a hit from Libor Pivko. Shishkanov a shot. Fleury a save. Wanted to play it, but Marc-Andre hasn't played a lot of hockey. Looking a little bit nervous, maybe rusty, just couldn't find the handle.
Well, this is just a really tough situation for a 19-year-old kid to come in game 4 of the finals. You're ice cold sitting on the bench, and you come into a Milwaukee team that is just red hot right now, and they're not going to let up. They don't care that this kid's 19. They're going to keep firing pucks at Marc-Andre.
He won't turn 20 years old till about Thanksgiving of next November, and he is from Sorel Province, Quebec, near Quebec City, and he is the future of the Pittsburgh Penguins netminding, along with Andy Kyoto and Sebastian Caron. Here's a give and go by Kostopoulos. Endicott couldn't feed it. Kostopoulos, one guy that'll fight, keeps that puck onside. Milwaukee, though, even when the Penguins make a great play, they defend so well in front of their own net. I use the analogy of an accordion, Phil. They bend, but they never seem to break. They're a good team.
Yeah, very disciplined team, very well coached team, and boy, when you take that equation and then you add in the talent that they have, this is a great hockey team, and they deserve to win the Calder Cup. It looks like they're going to go on to win it here, 7-1, and this is a really good hockey team.
11:45 to go in the second period. There's a lot of things that'll happen between now and the final horn, and what you're hoping now is just sportsmanship, good hockey, and hopefully nobody catching a bad break with a hard hit or a puck. I mean, you want safety at this point. Endicott, give and go, working down low. Sarovia, tap pass. Penguins are battling. Don't think the Penguins are going anywhere. And the one thing Milwaukee clearly does not want to do is Gamache breaks free down the right wing side. Has Fiddler on a 2-on-1. Fiddler waits, stops, good kick save Fleury. And Fleury lost his goalie stick. Penguins are going to need to help him get a whistle. Dangerous chance. Milwaukee has scrummed so hard. That time, though, they cleared the zone by mistake. Nobody went to help Fleury get his goalie stick, though. Fleury is still empty-handed. This is a disappointment and a mistake. Klassen has a man in front. Rightens a shot. Good kick save by Fleury. Oh, that's 2 in a row by Marc-Andre Fleury. Tap pass out of the zone. Someone get Fleury his goalie stick, would you please? It's still at center ice, and he still doesn't have it.
The fans are yelling, somebody get his stick.
Or even at least one of the forwards give it to him. Orpik reading it. Oh, there's a dangerous shot. Orpik's trying to give Fleury his stick, and Fleury finally gets it. That was one of the most distracting minutes of hockey I've ever broadcast in my life. 10:29 to go in the period. Greg Klassen, these are like sharks smelling blood in the water. Milwaukee's going to that net hard with a 7-1 second period lead. This is the second time in 3 games they've led 7-1 in a period. To give you an idea of just how capable this Milwaukee team is, they are sensational. I had heard from every scout, Phil Bourque, as live action continues, they were the best team in the West. They're the best team in the league. Who are we kidding?
No doubt about it. Every facet of a game, they have it covered. They are a really good team.
Tony Herkus clears it in deep. It's a nice story for Tony Herkus. Came back as a Stanley Cup winner with Dallas, playing with plenty of emotion. Now the Penguins breaking out 4-on-3. Armstrong with Whitney going to the net. Beach just kind of fell off the play. Did not work out, and now it's back the other way. Matthew Darch, flurry, going to come out of the net. It was deflected, no icing. Plus, I think any chance the refs have to keep this game moving, Phil, they're going to wisely do so. Yeah, at this point, I think the players want that. Also, I think everybody just wants to get out of here, but we got a lot of hockey left. Here's a shot by Kochi. David Kochi, good blast on Wade Flaherty with a signature pad stop. And now coming back the other way, it's Timofey Shishkanov. Behind the net, Kochi takes a hard hit. Penguins trying to clear the zone. Nice out by Armstrong. Center ice, Murley chugs against Curtis Murphy. Couple of Irish guys getting tangled up. Back the other way, Milwaukee breaks it out. Far wing side, it's Wyatt Smith. He scored an early goal to make it 3-1. And that's pretty much when things started to head south for the Penguins. Peterson, good head of steam, going up the boards, clears it in. Flaherty out of the net to play it. 8:48 to go. Lots of action here. The Admirals with a suffocating 7-1 lead in the game, a 3-0 lead in the series, and you know what that means. Here's Darren Haydar. He's on hat trick watch. He has scored 2 power play goals in a row to help Milwaukee to this 6-goal lead. Here's a breakout steal. It is Haydar. Back the other way. Peterson a steal. And now Koltsov tries to fight off a check. Ray Schultz wins a battle. A little bit of cheap stuff behind the play by both sides. Will play on. 8:15 to go. Milwaukee clears it in. You just want that clock to just keep on marching down with no flare-ups. Koltsov looking to lead it to a spot. Shane Endicott can't get there. Hard hit. Koltsov. Here's a steal by Kostopoulos. Looking for Endicott. Endicott barreling through. Shot. Big save, Flaherty. Nice cover on the rebound. And the Admirals continue to do no wrong. Boy, Wade Flaherty waited for Endicott to make the first move. He was a cool customer back there. Big save. And boy, that's maybe the first shot on goal on the wall for the Penguins. So the shots on goal right now, 27-19. Milwaukee with a 7-1 lead. Ouch. They're going to win the Calder Cup today unless we have an all-time nuclear meltdown by the Admirals. Sorovi is hooked. This will be a penalty. We'll have a whistle and we'll take a break. Now Clausen goes after Orpik. Very unnecessary with evenings out there. 7-1 Milwaukee. Tempers are flaring. Penguins on the power play. This is the 2004 Calder Cup final. Well, even though the Penguins are down 7-1, guys like Thomas Sorovi are not going to give up here. You can see Thomas, a little extra effort there, draws the hooking penalty on Brad Tiley. Penguins going on the power play. So Koltsov chiseled one in. The Penguins are 1 for 3 on the 1 for 2, excuse me. So they want to make it 2 for 3. They're going to try to make this newspaper respectable, just like in Game 2. 8-4 is a heck of a lot better than 7-1, if you ask me. Well, as a player, you can relax a little bit, have some fun out there now. You know that this game's pretty well salted away. 7-1. You're on the power play. Go out and score a goal and make these fans happy. Penguins have played so well in the postseason. Here's Patrick Boileau. Not sure what he was trying to do there. He shot it well wide. Peterson had no chance. Penguins, oh, they worked so hard. They deserve to be in the Calder Cup final. They just can't say with any reality they deserve to win the series here. Here's a shot. It's blocked up into the safety netting. And like you said, Phil, you enjoy it. So rarely as a player are you in this situation. You know it's a lost cause. Now you can go out and say, hey, this is the last hockey that's going to be played except for the Game 7 of the Stanley Cup for 4 months. Let's soak it up and have some fun. Yeah, give the fans something to cheer about. And more importantly, protect the young 19-year-old kid down the other end. Young Marc-Andre Fleury getting thrown into the hornet's nest here, so to speak. And you got to protect that young kid back there, too. Claude Noel, I talked to him before the game. He was very calm, very composed. You could see the excitement in his eye. But he said, Tom, yesterday we addressed it. All we have focused on today is playing well, play one game, not what winning the series would mean. And I think that approach has been obvious with the way his team has attacked this game and opened up a very commanding 7-1 lead. Endicott, center ice, clears it in. Flaherty behind the net, leaves it. Here's a quick clear up by Greg Zanin. I've liked Zanin's game from the get-go, and back in Game 1, he impressed me. Yeah, Greg Zanin out of the University Nebraska at Omaha, of all places. He's really impressed me. Not a big guy, but very mobile, and he's a gamer. Milwaukee always look. The Nashville Predators like the guys that give a lot of extra. That was a borderline penalty as Darts tried to break in on the penalty kill. They're going to say play on. Scuderi leads a rush with 33 seconds to go. Endicott on a forecheck along with Koltsov. Orpik lines up Hutchinson. Big hit. Will the Admirals clear the zone? Yes, they will. It's Greg Clausen. This is a 2-on-1 with Vern Fiddler. Clausen a shot. Good shoulder save by Fleury. That's what you want to see from him. Backdoor Fleury gloves it. Was game to play it, but Clausen, who's had a great game, he was there and Fleury hangs on. Good save.
Real good save by Marc-Andre Fleury, holding his ground on the 2-on-1. Clausen coming down the right side on that off foot. Snaps this one. He's going upstairs on Marc-Andre. But you can see Marc-Andre out in the top of that crease. He's square to the shooter. Gets that one. Because he's in the right position, he's able to deflect that off his shoulder.
5:47 to go in the middle period. 7-1 Milwaukee. Penguins have 12 seconds of power play time, but the Admirals, with another shorthanded chance, have the face-off deep. Chris Beach trying to get it on track along with Ryan Whitney. Here come the Penguins. Whitney shoots it high off the back glass. Armstrong takes a hit from Wyatt Smith. Penguins are on a forecheck. Here's a steal. Even strength for the Admirals. They clear one up and out of the zone, and they just always seem to have a guy like Pivko or Gamache, somebody chasing the breakout. This is an icing call. We'll take our last break of the period. 7-1 Milwaukee in the second. You're watching Game 4 of the 2004 Calder Cup Final. But a place the Wachovia Arena at KC Plaza has been all season. The crowds have been great. The games have been thrilling. Tonight, though, the crowd has to watch with sentiment as the Milwaukee Admirals, with a 7-1 lead, they are basically walking through the doorway of a Calder Cup championship, and the Penguins fighting out the string here. 7-1 they trail with 5 minutes to go in the second period, and Koltsov looking like it's the start of the season there. What a great move. Hussey and Peterson getting tangled up. Peterson will fight off. Greg Clausen chases him to the far left wing corner. Koltsov, good head and shoulder fake. Koltsov has really been effective for the Penguins. He has the only goal, but now it's Raitis Ivanins coming in. Stops, waits, good coverage by Scuderi. Not going to get fooled by the big man. Up into the safety netter she goes.
Yeah, good job by Rob Scuderi there. Control his gap against Ivanins. Did a good job to keep him to the outside, deflect that puck up into the netting. Rob Scuderi's really come into his own and spent a little time up with the Penguins this year, and he's a guy who's definitely moved up in the depth chart, I think, for the Penguins as far as next year is concerned.
I would have to say so. I agree. 4:41 to play in the second frame. The shots are 28 Milwaukee, 20 for the Penguins, but the only number, yikes, it looks like a misprint. 7-1 Milwaukee. Quick shot, a nice reaction pad save by Fleury, and after the initial goal Fleury let in, he's already made 2 or 3 very encouraging stops. Coming up in the second intermission on the radio side, I'll have a chat with Penguins athletic trainer Patrick Steidl. Talks about the rigors this series and the entire postseason has taken. And then on the TV side, we'll have a chat with, let's see, we have Dave Andrews from the American Hockey League. And then I'll be joined by Tom McMillan from the Pittsburgh Penguins. There's a nice tie up by Wade Flaherty, and Sorovi was spilled by Greg Zanin. So we'll have a whistle and face-off.
You see TK right in there with Tom Sorovi on his back. TK, he's going to make sure that nobody does any funny stuff out there. He wears the C, and he is a true leader. And you see Marc-Andre Fleury, another big save. This is Gamache in the slot. Kick save and a beauty.
A 5-bell save, as they used to say on Hockey Night in Canada. Tom Grace, Phil Bork here. We got our work cut out for us. We're going to have fun down the stretch here. There's 24 minutes to go in the Penguins season. What a year it was, but the Milwaukee Admirals are going to get the storybook ending. They're going to have a sweep in the Calder Cup Championship Final with a 7-1 lead on the road in Wilkes-Barre. And the Penguins just trying to get some fun in, maybe score a couple of goals, and naturally limit the activities the other way. That time Flaherty appeared to just fall down. Orpik with a hit from behind. That was not monkey business from Chris Beach. And Orpik may have got an elbow or a stick on the return of that hit. Here's a steal by Milwaukee attempt, but Whitney stayed with it. Now it's a 3-on-2 break for the Penguins. Nice dump in by Beach. Marquise Matthew has raised Schultz. Schultz went for the big hit but missed. Beach also out there as well. Penguins are trying to cruise around. Scuderi sweeps it to the Zamboni corner. Beach stops on a dime. Good move. Backdoor pass. Tried to feather it through. Too much traffic. And at times Chris is trying to make that highlight play, and it's just not there.
Yeah, now that this league it isn't. The dipsy doodle plays just aren't there. How many of these goals have you seen are scored off fancy plays? Most of them are just getting the puck to the net.
Long shot and an easy save for Wade Flaherty. He's doing the job now. He's stopped 20 of 21. with 3 minutes to go in period 2, and the Admirals with a zoinks 7-1 lead as Marquise Matthew gets off a high riser, and we'll have a face-off.
Boy, Milwaukee came into this game winning 6 straight overall, 6 on the road, and 6 overtime wins. And boy, just a dominating effort by this Milwaukee Admiral team.
And this one's going to take them to 7th heaven, both on the scoreboard and it looks like 7 in a row. And you win 7 games on the road late in the Calder Cup playoffs, you are the best team. If there's any consolation the Penguins can take, is if you aren't going to win the championship yourself, at least you know you lost to the best team. Not that that's going to make anyone feel better, but you'd hate to think if you lost in a fluke to a team that was not as good as you.
Yeah, no doubt about it. This is the best team that we've seen. It's funny, it's a different team than any of the other team the Penguins have played.
Milosh leads a 3-man rush. Kirill Safronov bangs it up to Matthew Darch. Darch tries to weave. Jay Henderson getting a bit more time, and Claude Noel has the luxury of a very big 6-goal lead to play people, and Penguins shoot one in. Flaherty sees it steer wide in the corner. Peterson forechecking. Koltsov has been the real bright light for the Penguins today. Koltsov a stop and start. Peterson a backhander. Surprised the pass got there. He wasn't ready for the shot. Couldn't quite get it. Hussey scrambling and working. Hussey's auditioning for a role in Pittsburgh next year. That's for sure. That time it looked like Koltsov made a play. Good hustle by Toby. This has been one of the harder working shifts of the period we've seen. Minute and 38 to go in the second period. Penguins getting it going. Here is Ryan Whitney down the right wing side behind the net. Rolls one in front. Look out. Koltsov couldn't find it. And Milwaukee again with that accordion defense, as I like to call it. They bend but they don't break, and they lead 7-1. We have a minute and 19 to go in the period. Lots of continuous action. The linesman and the referee, to their credit, trying to keep this game moving with as few whistles as possible. Rightus Evanens coming down. Whitney giving him some rough stuff. Evanens is a bigger and stronger kid than Whitney, but Whitney's hanging tough. Here's a steal. Back on the point, it's Greg Zanin. Minute to go. Oh, and Fleury looked like he was being interfered with. No call. Bouncing play off the corner. Nice tap out by Kostopoulos, but it does not connect to Sorovi. Milwaukee is still coming full speed ahead. Penguins trailing 7-1. There's a clear in. Orpik gets it in. He'll go for a line change on the fly. Patrick Boileau a pinch in. Here's a Greg Clausen breakout pass stolen by Endicott at center ice. Endicott neutral zone, winding up, cruising back. Here's a clear in. 28 seconds to go in the second period. 7-1 Milwaukee. They lead the series 3-0. They're going to win the Calder Cup tonight. Soft clear, and Nasreddine has a man on his back. Nice tie up by Patrick Boileau to make sure his defense partner does not get hammered. Milwaukee, to me, Phil, does not seem to be going for the cheap hit.
No, definitely not. They're playing some smart hockey right now. They're still generating some offense, but they haven't gone in any kind of a shell. They're just playing the game out here. 2
seconds to go. Schultz has it deep, shoots it up. There's the horn. So Milwaukee turns a 4-1 lead in the first period into a 7-1 lead. We'll take a break. On the radio side, it's Patrick Steidl. On the TV side, we'll have Dave Andrews. Then we'll have Tom McMillan from the Pittsburgh Penguins. It's a disappointment, but it is a Calder Cup Sunday, and you're watching on the Penguins Playoff Network. Period 3, game 4. It is 7-1 Milwaukee. Ouch. The Admirals have been absolutely dominant since the opening minute of play. They lead the series 3-0. And Phil, let's face it, the Penguins need 7 goals, for crying out loud. That is certain to not happen. So now what do we look for in a third period where everything is pretty well settled at this point?
Yeah, well, I can't imagine there was a whole lot said in between periods by Coach Terry and frankly probably by the players after being down 7-1. And basically you just want to have a good showing here, finish the season off right, reward your fans with a good 20 minutes.
So the Milwaukee Admirals are poised to win their first ever professional hockey championship. They lost in the finals of the IHL, and now they have they're going to win the Calder Cup. We just want to see what will hopefully be a well-played third period here in Wilkes-Barre as the fans came out 8,260. Here's Libor Pivko breaking in 2-on-1. Fleury, good shoulder save. Shishkanov not going for the hack and whack that you might see if it was a 2-1 game. Milwaukee in complete control, but a nice save by Marc-Andre Fleury.
Yeah, and Penguin fans who haven't seen Marc-Andre Fleury for a while get a little treat here to see the young 19-year-old first overall draft pick in last year's draft. This year's draft's right around the corner too, Tom.
Not too far. Raleigh, North Carolina, 26. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So the Carolina Hurricanes will be the host. They've had a great transition from the Hartford Whalers. They went to the Stanley Cup final a couple of years ago, and right now, though, the Penguins playing out the string here in the third period, if you will. They trail 7-1. It is game 4, and it's going to be the first sweep of a Calder Cup since 1995, when the Albany River Rats, they shut out the Fredericton Canadians 4-0. The Admirals wearing white, representing the Nashville Predators. They've got some good, young, talented prospects on this group. Nashville made the NHL playoffs for the first time ever. Live action continues. Simone Gamache. He breaks to the net. Good tap away by Elaine Nasruddin. Here's Tom Kostopoulos trying to come out. Milwaukee with that suffocating defense, but they're offside in the neutral zone as Simone Gamache touched it up on the wrong side of the blue line.
Simone Gamache has just been unbelievable in this hockey game. He's got a goal and 3 assists. He's +3. He's been killing penalties. He's been all over the ice, and what a great play he made on that power play goal, sliding the pass to Haydar to really seal this game.
18 minutes and 39 seconds to play. Tom Grace joined by Phil Bourque. It's been a treat bringing all these games back on Pittsburgh Radio, Fox Sports Net, Madison Square Garden. We've had fans emailing us in from all over the country. Unfortunately for the Penguins, the dream is going to end tonight. Milwaukee is going to be a well-deserved regular season champion, completing the double, if you will, with the Calder Cup. Rob Scuderi, right point keep in. Penguins wearing black, skating from right to left. Tap pass in front. Armstrong can't get to it. Tony Herkus chisels one out to center ice. Jay Henderson, a soft leave. Milwaukee is not trying to initiate any kind of physical confrontation. They are sitting on the ultimate hockey party you can have in the AHL, and they want to do nothing to have it get tainted. Here's a breakback. It is Rytis Ivanins, clears it in. Brendan Siegel has a goal earlier, banged one in off the pad, and that was it for Andy Chiodo. Here comes Milwaukee right back. Clausen goes to the net. Hard shot deflected wide. That was Ivanins. Tip shot by Ivanins. Fleury did the splits, and it's a long rebound steal by the Penguins. Marquise Matthew with an up and over hit from Ray Schultz. Schultz is cruising for a bruise, making for a play like that. There was some bad blood. Now he comes back on Marquise Matthew again. Guillaume Lefebvre gets it. Even though Matthew getting up very slowly after that hit, he's still in the play. Here's Chris Beach trying to scoop in. Beach takes his time. Backhand shot. Bouncing puck. Flaherty has been good and had good fortune. That time the blue puck comes right back into his glove.
Well, I don't think Chris Beach realized how much time he has as he picked up this loose puck behind the net. And he walks out. He beats his check to the loose puck. A little pick and roll there. Chris Beach walking out front. He gets a little bit on this backhand, but I don't think he got all of it. Flaherty was there, right position to deflect this puck, also to cover up the rebound.
Hit the shoulder. Watch it go straight up, and then boom, he ties it up with the glove. Close for Beach, but this series never really got off the ground for Chris Beach. Elaine Nasruddin going back, although Chris did have a nice goal and an assist in game 2, but at that point it was a lost cause. That game at one point was also 7-1, finished 8-4. Libor Pivko, a tap pass. Here's Wyatt Smith, 2-on-2, breaks over the near wing blue line. Peterson on a back check, slaps one up the boards. Pivko fans on a shot. Greg Zanin has it blocked by Patrick Boileau. Smith a turnaround. Fleury a pad save. High rebound off the back glass over the net. Rebound stays in play. Peterson taps one ahead. Boileau knocks it ahead for Matt Hussey. Hussey with that quick release. Good glove save by Flaherty. Again, they want to keep the game moving. Drop it, move it. There's very little low side for the Admirals right now. We've played 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Hardly any whistles as everybody wants this thing to end civilly, if you will. And here's a wrist shot by Sorovi. They'll bring that Calder Cup out later on. One-time pass. Kostopoulos battles for it. Sorovi finds it. Good stick handle. Sorovi's shot is blocked by Safronov. Backdoor play. Scuderi kind of swats at it. Behind the net for Endicott on a redirect. Sorovi tried to walk out. Briefly took his eye off it. Kostopoulos in the slot. The puck fluttered on him. Nice glove save. Will have a whistle and face-off. 15:51 to go in the third period. Still 7-1 Milwaukee.
Oh, great shift by Thomas Sorovi. He was all over the ice that shift. Made a nifty little pass to Tom Kostopoulos in the high slot there. Unfortunately for TK, this was a rolling puck, and he tried to just stop it quick and snap it, and the puck had not settled down yet and just butterflied into the glove of Wade Flaherty.
When the Penguins went to the Calder Cup final in 2001 under Glenn Patrick, they played 21 total games. They had 13 wins. They had 8 losses. This time they will have 12 wins and 12 losses, 24 games on top of 80 regular season. This is the latest game ever played in franchise history, Phil.
Yeah, what a huge success for this franchise, for this organization here in Wilkes-Barre. Nobody expected this team, and there was a time late in the season nobody expected them to even make the playoffs.
Late February it was close.
It was very close, and they made a run towards the end, and they just carried it through. And boy, every guy on this team can hold their head up high.
15.5 minutes to go in the third period. Penguins wearing black, skating from right to left, representing Pittsburgh, the Milwaukee Admirals of the Nashville Predators NHL variety. Here's a crackback. It's Murley, center ice, right wing side. Here's a backdoor play. Flaherty just on like a ballet dancer kicks it aside with great poise. Flaherty has been very dependable in net. Herkus over the blue line, onside. Tony Herkus, the Hobey Baker winner out of North Dakota in 1987. He's still playing and playing with dignity. Malash deep in his own Zamboni corner door, playing defense. Ryan Whitney, the future prospect of the Penguins' offensive blue line, breaks it out to Armstrong. Murley pursues, but he won't get it. Andrew Hutchinson, easy D-to-D pass to Ray Schultz. Schultz just a scoop in there, trying to play kill the clock like an old game show. Beat the clock here. 14:42 to go, and even Milwaukee starting, except for Rytis Evans, pulling out of hits and nobody trying to start any fights.
No, and you can see the referees also want this over with. This with a couple close calls on icings and offsides, and they've let them go.
Just let that clock march down unless it's an obvious call, because you don't want frustration to bubble over on the Penguins side. Here's a steal by Greg Clausen. He'll take the shot. Fleury, a good breadbasket save. He hangs on. 14:18 to go, and again, you look for positives, Phil, and Fleury. Other than the one goal in the first shot, he's done fine.
Yeah, after that first shot by Gamache that found its way between the legs of Marc-Andre Fleury has been phenomenal in this hockey game. He's had to come up with some really big saves in the second. Early on in the third, he's made a couple of good saves, and this will be good for Marc-Andre Fleury to end his season, hopefully on a positive note.
An awful long year for the prize rookie. There's a quick wrist shot off the face-off. Hits the glass, stays in play. Penguins are quick to pounce on it. Peterson flips one out to center ice. Kicked ahead by Matt Hussey, but not under control. Here's a poke check by Wyatt Smith. Caught Scuderi backwards. Shishkanov walking in. Fleury, a big kick pad save. Milwaukee flips a backhander high and wide. That was Libor Pivko. That could have easily been a goal. Now it's Koltsov taking it back. Timofey Shishkanov trying to come along, and that time Koltsov's one-handed pass stolen. Penguins get it right back. Peterson ahead. Will this be icing? They wave that off quickly. Good call. Keep the game moving, boys. Nice job. Koltsov pulls one off the far boards. Give and go up on high. Nice back check by Wyatt Smith. Hussey with a lift check. The oldest play in hockey, and still effective. Peterson tries to gather one in. Can't do it. Pivko just whips it down. I think you have to call that one icing no matter what you want. We were due for a break anyway, and we'll take it. 13:18 to go. 7-1 Milwaukee. You're watching the 2004 Calder Cup Final.
Timofey Shishkanov, good-looking young prospect for the Nashville Predators, goes flying into Marc-Andre Fleury. Boy, he really took this puck hard to the net. And then a rebound came out. Another one by Marc-Andre Fleury in desperation, throwing those yellow gloves up in the air. This puck just luckily went wide for Marc-Andre.
Orpik shot through traffic, was blocked. Sorovi gives it back to Kostopoulos. TK wanted to get the shot. The referee was actually in his shooting lane, but Kostopoulos offers up a soft one. Flaherty makes the easy stick save, and Milwaukee icing the puck again, and they're just going to get rid of it. And we'll do it back again with 13 minutes to go, and there will be a coronation. Last time the Penguins were in the finals, Phil, they lost Game 6 on the road in St. John up in Harbor Station, a 1-0 shutout. Tough break. That was Martin Brochu in the goal against Richie Perrant. And this time, though, the Calder Cup will be presented on Wilkes-Barre ice, not the circumstances we had hoped.
Well, it'll be something to, the fans can look at this moment right now and something to build off of and remember. So next time you're there, you want to be the one receiving that cup.
You just want to keep taking steps. Here's Haydar looking for the hat trick. His shot is blocked. Good back check. Sorovi continues to skate very hard in the third period. These are the small things you remember. Endicott passes it along back to Orpik. Brooks tried to feather it through. This ice will be waved off. It didn't make the goal line anyhow. 12:22 to go in the regulation time. Milwaukee with a 7-1 lead. They are going to win the Calder Cup with a 4-0 sweep. And folks, this is about as deserving a champion as you could expect to see. Murley coming along, a drop peck. It's stolen by Jay Henderson, just feathering it out At this point, both teams are just like, hey, let's play it straight and strong. Phil, I'll be disappointed if I see either side go for the big fight of the hit because the issue's been settled.
Yeah, we've seen a couple bumps, and that's about it. And I can't see anything unless somebody gets stupid out there. And I think, if anything, if a Milwaukee player does anything in front of these home fans here, there's somebody will jump in, somebody like a Kochi or a Tom Kostopoulos.
Here's a backdoor pass. Meloche scores. It's now 7-2. It's not going to make a big difference, but what the heck, Phil? 7-2 is better than 7-1.
Eric Meloche makes no mistake on this little one-timer, and a great pass by Patrick Boileau. Headsy play by the KG veteran Boileau, and this is what I'm talking about. They have a good period like this. The game's basically over as far as the score is concerned, but you give the hometown fans something to cheer about. Eric Meloche makes no mistake on a great pass by Patrick Boileau.
Eric Meloche is now tied with Chris Beach for the team high in goals with 9. So what a great postseason for Eric Meloche. He scored that huge overtime goal against Bridgeport in Game 5. Excuse me, that was in Game 3. And here's the announcement.
Eric Meloche.
Eric gets his 9th of the playoffs.
His 9th of the playoffs. With an assist to number 27, Patrick Boileau. And number 22, Matt Murley.
And Matt Murley getting a point. So, hey, every goal is a good goal for the Penguins. And for you fans watching on Adelphia 63, I'm not sure about Fox Pittsburgh, but we will be keeping it here for the presentation. So we're going to be on TV until everything has been handed out and settled. 7-2 is the score. Milwaukee has the lead, but the Penguins are winning the third period if you're looking for any kind of a positive sign. This will be an offside against the Admirals. Again, it's Meloche, even strength from Boileau and Murley at 8:19, and we're 11 minutes and 9 seconds away. And Phil Bourque, as you look ahead, especially maybe for our Pittsburgh fans, what do you see in this group that could clearly help down the road without putting guys on individual spots?
No, guys that really jump out at me that have taken their game to a new level. Obviously, Ryan Whitney is the guy that
he's going to play in the NHL.
Another guy that I thought really raised his stock in the playoffs is Shane Endicott, a guy that you weren't really sure what he had in his bag of tricks, but he really showed himself in the playoffs, and I know there's a big buzz in Pittsburgh for Shane Endicott.
And you know what? I'm no coach. I'm no GM. I think Rob Scuderi is going to be a full-time NHLer next year. I think his steady defensive game is right there. You know, the obvious ones, Koltsov's going to be back. You know, the Sorovi, Orpik. You're going to see those guys playing. Here comes Toby Peterson. Near wing pass to Orpik. Wrist shot tipped through a screen. It's knocked down. Good coverage by Brandon Siegel. And Siegel flips it out. Right as Evanens coming in, barreling in on Whitney. Whitney muscles him off. Good move that time by Evanens to get a decent shot. It rolled wide. Back the other way. Koltsov has it. Will they wave off this icing? Shishkanov touches it. No, they won't. 10:17 to go, and you can't have a complete disregard for the rules or someone could get injured. As Patrick Boileau, no reason to hang your head. Patrick Boileau will be going off to Europe next year to play, but he was a great leader of this team this season.
Yeah, he'll do really well over in Europe. He's a good skater, and he carries the puck well. He's got a good shot. He'll have a lot of success over there.
Face off to the right of Marc-Andre Fleury. Came in after Andy Chiodo was victimized for 6 goals. The 6th came early in the second period, and that was enough. It was 6-1. Penguins trailing Milwaukee at that point, and now it's a 7-2 game. Fleury's been actually quite impressive with 8 saves on 9 shots since he came on in relief. Milwaukee's just a real good team, fans. There's nothing wrong with the Penguins. Milwaukee can do no wrong, and they have been downright dominant in this series. Kostopoulos pushes it ahead. Endicott back checks. Timofey Shishkanov, he's auditioning for a role in Nashville. I can tell you that right now. He's going hard, very shift. There's a drop pass. It bounces off Brad Tiley's skate. So Curtis Murphy and Jay Henderson, they're going to win back-to-back Calder Cups. They were teammates in Houston last year. For Henderson, there's an icing call against the Penguins. We're going to take a break. Henderson will now have his 3rd different Calder Cup ring with a 3rd different team. Let's break. 7-2 Milwaukee. Almost feel guilty as a broadcaster seeing a highlight from your team when they're down 7-2. But guys in the truck, I agree with that call 100%. Here comes Milwaukee. They aren't done yet. They're going to win the Calder Cup when they take a slap shot. Vern Fiddler had his chance blocked. Here's a rebound keep in. Andrew Hutchinson takes the hit from Endicott. Just shovels the pass ahead. Simone Gamache coming in. Steals it from Nasruddin. Fiddler very aggressive to the net, but he actually overskated the puck. Endicott had trouble finding the handle. Sorovi's just onside. Penguins keep it alive. Here's Sorovi. Backdoor give. Stolen back to Endicott. Endicott to Sorovi. Fanned on it. It's blocked in front. Bouncing past Darren Haydar. He's on hat-trick watch. Scored a pair of power play goals in the middle of this game. 7-2 Milwaukee. Patrick Boileau goes back to get it. 8:42 to play. Third period. The Admirals are going to win the 2004 Calder Cup in a 4-0 sweep. Penguins playing with pride, playing it out with confidence, down 7-2. What more can you ask, fans? It's been a fantastic season, a record-breaking season in many ways. And here's a chance. It's Matthew Dart's backdoor pass. Nobody else. Milwaukee's kind of called off the dogs, if you will. They're not coming quite as aggressive as they were. Murley will beat the icing call. He takes a hit from Zanin, but nothing out of the ordinary. Armstrong spins off. Armstrong on his knees. Quick shot. Nice save by Flaherty. A quick tip by Murley, I believe it was. Malash couldn't keep it going. Nice tap out by Milwaukee, and Murley darn near had a nice redirection goal. Cochise pass stolen. Scuderi helps recover the mistake. Here's a poke check steal. Armstrong with Chris Beach. Beach waits. Good toe drag. Tried to go back to Armstrong. He was covered. Milwaukee, as they've done all series long, they cover the front of that net and no traffic gets through.
Boy, they get to the loose pucks. They're very good at anticipating where that puck's going to end up, and they're very good at their coverage, especially right at their blue line.
There's a difference between speed and quickness for a hockey player. Milwaukee has both. Whitney, right wing side, takes it around the circle, going deep to the goal line. Right wing corner, he's knocked off. Nice tap out. Here's a long lead. You'd almost like to see him wave these icing calls off, but we will play it on. 7:15 to go. Icing is the call, and Phil, quickly the difference between speed and quickness for those wondering.
Well, speed is flat out speed, breakaway speed. Quickness is, you'll see it a lot in the offensive zone when a player can beat his check out of the corner with one or two just really quick strides. But when you can have both, like a Pavel Bure or a Konstantin Koltsov, that's a deadly mixture.
Toby Peterson comes out with Matt Hussey, Konstantin Koltsov, Patrick Boileau, and Alain Nasruddin. It is 7-2 Milwaukee. We have 7 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the third period. 7 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the regular AHL Calder Cup playoff postseason. Fleury fakes the chip, puts it up, but it's stolen by Right as Savanins. Back on the point. Here's a chance for Kirill Safronov. Keeps it alive. Ivanins finds Libor Pivko. Talk about your European trio up there doing some damage. Greg Clausen and Brad Tiley keeping it North American legit. Pivko, he's looked good in the series, getting roughed up by Nasruddin. Now it's Greg Clausen. Clausen, good feed back door. Safronov tried to go backwards. Just a heel kept that from being another one of those great tic-tac-toe plays. Nasruddin pushes one ahead. That's not what he meant to do on the poke check. Lost it. Nashville slaps it right back. Check that Milwaukee. I'm thinking Nashville Predators for the NHL affiliation. 6:15 to go. Third period. Milwaukee in complete control. 7-2. They break through center ice. Safronov gets it along. Scuderi battles with Shishkanov. Shishkanov has played a ton of hockey in this game. He's had a very valuable role for Milwaukee. Claude Noel, what a fantasy season it is for him. First year as a full-time AHL coach, wins the regular season, wins Coach of the Year, and now his club is going to win the Calder Cup. Heavy hit that time by Kochion Shishkanov. That's the first of a eyebrow-raising hit, I guess you could say, in this third period. Scuderi has Haydar on his tail. Haydar played the puck, not the man. Kochion a redirect. Penguins are going to come out of the zone. 5.5 minutes to go. We will be taking another break. But right now, live action continues. Sorovi had nobody with him. It was a line change for the Penguins, and Milwaukee, they are just playing out the string in grand fashion. They're going to win the Calder Cup. This will be a sweep. Here's Endicott coming down the left wing side. Endicott holds it. Couldn't jam it in front. Now he has an open man on the point. Endicott a backhander. Flaherty a poke check into the far wing side. Behind the net, Sorovi couldn't find the handle, and it's a good flip out by Darren Haydar. Whitney felt Vern Fiddler, and Whitney with that good skating He stepped around, jumps right over the stick. Just talk about your on-ice awareness for a young kid.
It's pretty nimble, yeah. Ryan Whitney, what a player.
The limbo down in Jamaica, do the limbo rock. 4:48 to go. Whitney has it. We're going to be taking a break. It's 7-2 Milwaukee. This is the end of the season. We'll take a break. You're watching the 2004 Calder Cup playoffs. Tonight, we take it back down to the ice. Tom Grace, Phil Bourque, and Andy Chiodo's going to come in to get his just due. Marc-Andre Fleury, what a classy move by Coach Terrian, saying, Andy, you got us here. You're going to drive us home.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's what the fans wanted. As much as they love Marc-Andre Fleury, Andy Chiodo is the man here in Wilkes-Barre.
It's a great show of emotion. The fans chant Andy, Andy, and here comes Milwaukee on a 2-on-1 break. Back the other way, Matthew Darch, good back check. The Penguins fans understand when you think back to the Bridgeport series, what Andy Chiodo did, the way he slammed the door on Philadelphia, and then the way just one goal allowed in that awesome overtime win in Game 7 in Hartford. Chiodo was the reason, as much as anybody, the Penguins got this far. Backhand pass. Here's a chance for the Penguins. Murley couldn't get good wood on it. And Pivko gets one past Colby Armstrong up out of the zone. Great curtain call delivered by Coach Terrian. I'll tell you what a job Coach Terrian did. When we think of this lineup back in February, Phil, there was a game we had 13 guys who were in the East Coast Hockey League the year before or that season playing in the AHL.
Yeah, this is pretty impressive what these baby Penguins were able to accomplish.
Chris Beach forechecks with Colby Armstrong behind the Milwaukee net. Takes a bounce to Jay Henderson. The Admirals are just trying to play keep away with the puck. Nobody's trying to inflame anything. There was some emotion in the second game, but very little bad blood. Milwaukee knew they were having the upper hand on and off the ice, and they just want to keep it rolling. You have game 2 and game 4 where you've got 7-1 leads at some point. You are clearly going to win the championship. 3.5 minutes to go in the game. Chris Beach stays onside. There's a trip. You call that. Very wise by the referee. It wasn't a Jack the Ripper call, but why inflame the crowd, Well,
Ivanen's going to go off here for either a slash or it's going to be a trip here. This is clearly a penalty.
Yep.
And once again, here's an opportunity. You see there could have even been a hook against Matthew. But here you go, another opportunity to whip these fans into a frenzy, send them home with something to smile about.
Ivanens is a big guy. He's kind of the enforcer, if you will. He picks up his third minor. The Penguins today on the power play 1 for 3. This is the first penalty of the entire third period for either side.
Time of the penalty, 16:44.
It's a tripping call.
Milwaukee's Ivanens, 2 minutes for tripping.
So now the Penguins give another chance to cheer, as you say, Phil. I like that's deflected into the safety netting. 7-3 is better than 7-2, if you ask me.
Yeah, and they're starting the wave here in Wilkes-Barre.
These fans just don't die, do
they haven't had too much to cheer about in this hockey game.
This is more a celebration of a season that started back in October. And I know our folks in Fox Pittsburgh will not be staying for the ceremony, but fans, before you go at the end of this game, I just want to thank everybody out in Pittsburgh, whether it was on the radio, the TV, supporting the baby Penguins. You made this club feel like they were a huge part of the Major League Pittsburgh scene. Live action continues. The Penguins tried to crash the net. Milwaukee, as they always seem to do. They cover it, they clear it, and then they attack. Libor Pivko just going into a bit of a stall penalty kill. They shoot it deep. Chiodo watches one whiz over his head off the back glass. Ryan Whitney's going to have to go the whole 200 feet to make something happen here. 7-2 Milwaukee. Penguins on a power play with 1:10 to go on the advantage. 2:25 to go in a season that was nothing short of spectacular except the final round. Here's Kostopoulos' shot. It would have been nice to see the captain get a goal. And Vern Fiddler's going to have a breakaway, shorthanded. Fiddler walks in, shot, hit the crossbar, no goal. Oh, Chiodo doesn't get the save, but he didn't allow the goal either.
Rightfully so.
Vern Fiddler came in and he played a tune off the crossbar. Ouch. I guess that's the Fiddler on the roof of the net, correct? Oh, I bet he's heard that one before. Here's a lead. It's Matt Murley on the forecheck. Penguins still have a half a minute. They'd love to click one back, and nice that Andy doesn't get victimized on that shorthanded goal. Quick shot by Milosh. It's blocked. Milwaukee's penalty kill was sensational in this series. 2 shorthanded goals, and the Penguins just 2 power play goals through 4 games. Milwaukee, if I'm not mistaken, they had 9. Ouch. Here's a crackback. It's Matthew Darch coming along. Orpik late in the game blocks the shot. That sums up Brooks Orpik for next year in my book.
Yeah, that's Brooks. His body is really taking a beating in these playoffs. He's been hammering guys, and he doesn't care. We got a minute to go in game 4. You're down 7-2. He's still blocking shots.
Malash, a quick wrister, a nice save that time by Wade Flaherty, and it'll be interesting to see who the MVP is. We didn't see the first 3 rounds for Milwaukee. I think Haydar has probably been the most valuable player in the series, but again, Flaherty with 16 wins. What do you do with the MVP?
Yeah, we watched that breakaway. And boy, you got to be good to be lucky. The goaltender's best friend. You can hear the chant, Andy, Andy, Andy. It'd be interesting. I'd like to know if Michel Therrien went to Andy Chiodo or if Andy went to Michel and said, hey, I want to go back in.
Either way, it's just a good thing. Let the season finish on a high. Remember the good things, because when we get to the dog days of July and August, people are going to be excited for next season. Here's a backdoor. It's Koltsov. There's a minute to go in the season. The Milwaukee Admirals are going to win the championship. The Penguins are going to play it out with pride. Kochi is shot. Can't get it through, and Brendan Siegel just clears it out. Elaine Nazardine. Crowd chants, let's go Penguins, like it's opening night in October. They're just so proud of their boys, and we are too. Both teams deserve a boatload of credit for their respective accomplishments. And now the fans are up on their feet, counting down the last 30 seconds. Milwaukee is going to be a deserving, if not dominant, Calder Cup champion. The Penguins are finishing strong. Classy move, and there's a whistle. There will be no hack and whack. And Phil Bourque, this is how we kind of hoped it would end. And how about this crowd on its feet, despite a 7-2 score, knowing what their Penguins gave them all year long.
Yeah, you can feel the love. And these fans here, like I've mentioned before, the best in the American Hockey League. Not only are we saying, but everybody else in the league is saying it. Visiting teams come in here and they're just overwhelmed by how nice this building is and how loud the fans are here.
Fans from other teams always criticize all the Penguins fans, they're the best in the league, and they are on their feet saluting both teams with 15 seconds to go. You wouldn't get this in every other city with their team down 7-2. Crowd chants, let's go Pens. 10 seconds to go. Milwaukee's going to win it. Peterson in the corner to Kostopoulos. Kostopoulos backs off the hit. 1 second. There's your horn. The Milwaukee Admirals jump on the ice and salute like it's graduation day, and deservedly so. Congratulations to the Milwaukee Admirals. They are the 2004 Calder Cup champions. And on the other end of the ice, a dejected group of Penguins come on to give Andy Chiodo a well-deserved hug. There'll be some tears. There'll be some disappointment, but that story tells it all. The Admirals are the champions, and congratulations to them. So what we have here, Phil Bourque, I don't know if we're going to keep it here, if we take a break and come back for the presentations, but right now we have a championship on the ice. And to our fans in Pittsburgh watching on Fox, you are going back to the studio. Thank you for all your support in Pittsburgh. Unbelievably classy display by our NHL brethren.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's fantastic that Fox Pittsburgh picked up this game, and for the fans of Pittsburgh, I know there's a big buzz, and I'm sure they appreciate being able to see their future right here in Wilkes-Barre.
And what is the best scene in all of pro sports, even though the Penguins are on the wrong side of the picture, the Penguins line up as always, just like Hartford did for them, just like Philadelphia did for them, just like a shocked Bridgeport team did. The Milwaukee Admirals are the Calder Cup champions. Fans, they deserve it. You applaud them, but do not let this take away from how hard and how proud your Penguins worked and represented northeastern Pennsylvania. Well, I have a brief minute. I want to thank everybody in the TV truck, everybody from J2K, Chris Sipsky, Kyle Holman, and Sarah Johnson, the best radio helpers you could ever ask for. And Phil Bourque, I want to help you too. You made the playoffs special by riding shotgun with me the whole way.
Oh, I enjoyed every second of it. Shotgun was a great seat. I had a great view the whole way, and man, a great experience for me, and I'm so glad that I took that first game in Bridgeport and just jumped on the wagon with you guys.
It's a tough handshake. Claude Noel led right down the line, deservedly so. He has finished off a banner year. Even the Penguins scratch players, Ross Lupaschuk, Reed Simpson, Darcy Robinson, Mike Yeo in the line. This is a bitterly frustrating loss for Coach Therrien and all the players, but the fact is you stick around and everybody's doing the right thing.